Hello, welcome to the No Excuses destash video. I recorded the other day and thank you, an episode, and thank you to everybody who has commented so far and watched the video. And I want to say a big special thank you to everybody who's commented about Bertie. If you don't already know, we lost Bertie on Friday morning, our Staffordshire Bull Terrier. We think he was about 13 or 14. But he went downhill very rapidly and died with us on the bed, on our bed. And he's left a big hole, but, you know, it's sad. But we know he had a good life, and we're trying to make the best of it. So thank you for so many messages. I've just hearted everyone on Instagram because it's just exhausting to write back to people, you know, but you're all so lovely, and thank you for each and every one of the messages that I've had. It's a comfort because I know a lot of you have been through the same thing. Got a frog in my throat. Excuse me. Now, this is my destash. There is a selection of indie dyed and commercial. I am going to start with the indie dyed, and basically most of the skeins I think I'm just going to sell within the UK unless you're particularly interested in something, but the postal costs just seem inhibitive to send abroad these days. So I'm going to go through what I've got. I shall make a list below and I will timestamp when I'm talking about that particular item. Postage is £2.99 unless you buy more than 2 kilograms, which is highly unlikely. Or the parcel's too big. So a second class post, £2.99, so say £3, and then most of the single skeins I'm asking £10 for. I have got some a little bit more expensive than that, purely because they were much more expensive for me to buy in the first place. So, and I'm trying to price the commercial at about half of what it is. All my yarn is stored in the loft in polythene bags, polythene bags or a cotton bag within IKEA polythene bags. And so far I've not seen any sign of any critters, so hopefully they look as if they're all in good condition. So let's kick off, shall we? I don't know where to start first. Let's start with this bag here, because it's nice and quiet. And you know how disorganised I am, so I will start and stop this video, or I'll just cut it, like I might do just now. And first out of the bag we have, you may remember I did a monthly mystery club that was nature themed with Rhapsodye Yarns and Notions, and this is a BFL 4-ply and it's called Coastal Waters, and it's a beautiful turquoise bluey yarn. It is 100% superwash BFL, and it says it's 100 metres. I think it's 400 metres, and it's best before the 20th of the 8th 2022. I think she's putting dates on it because it was nature inspired, but obviously, you know, I think that's the date it was intended for. It was on the August, maybe the August club, so don't worry about that, it's not going to disappear. So that's Coastal Waters by Emily, isn't it? Rhapsodye Works. I'll put photographs in as well where I can find them, okay? That I've taken pictures of all my stash anyway, so if I've got any decent pictures I'll put them in just after talking about them. The next one is a merino single from Cosmic Strings, and this is a lovely creamy colour with brown speckles. Now I think this will be lovely in a shawl. It's also got like slight hints of green there, in a shawl with a more solid colour maybe, but it is lovely and it feels nice. And it's called Toasted Almond. So it's a merino single, 4-ply, and it's 366 metres per 100 grams. Dyed in Scotland. Okay, Toasted Almond by Cosmic Strings. Now this one was from Sal, Welsh Sal, and I've used most of the wool that Sal gave me initially in various jumpers and projects and things, and I haven't used this, and I think I'm going to pass it on purely because I haven't really got anything to put with it, because I think it would be really nice again in a shawl with picking one of the colours or something a bit brighter maybe to go with it. And it's basically greens and browns and a coppery colour. It's got no name on it. It's Hedgerow Yarns. They've been going quite some time. In fact, I don't know whether they're still going. I haven't looked that up. And on here it says premium sock. It's 425 metres and it's a standard 75/25 merino polyamide. Very nice and soft. Looks like it's well twisted, especially when you look at it compared to something like the single. But anyway, I'm not intending, you know, that you put those two together, although they don't not go. And then finally, out of this bag, this is from Solstice yarn. It's her tidal sock yarn. Again, I'm not sure whether she's dyeing still, and it's a beautiful pale lemon yellow, and it really is nice and soft. You see, I'm a bit cynical about people saying things are soft and this is soft and that's soft, because I always thought that maybe the dyers get their most of the dyers get their supplies from just a few suppliers, if that makes sense. But some of them, maybe it's the dyer that helps as well. This is a standard 75/25 nylon, and this one's 400 metres. It's been naturally dyed, apparently. Doesn't say what with, but it's called Sherbert, and that's lovely. Now, I know a lot of you say you're not keen on yellow, but it's it depends on the tone. But this is really, really pretty. But I'm not going to keep it because I've just made that yellow jumper. I'm just trying to see there. It is superwash, yeah. So that's Sherbet from Solstice yarn. And then we've got a couple of little things that I bought when I went to Edinburgh with Mum a few years ago now. I think they were where you go from the Grass Market, is it, up to the Royal Mile. There was a little wool shop, but it was down some steps and I couldn't get in it. In fact, the road was so steep there, it terrified me. And this is BC Garn Setalin. It just had a label on it that's come off. And it's from Denmark, and it is it's linen. Oh yeah, it's got the price on it, was £10.99. Yeah, BC Garn Setalin. It's 170 metres for 50 grams, and I bought them together because I thought they'd be nice. So that's 100 grams, and they actually look quite nice together. If you've got other linen, then they'd be good to match in with it, good stripes and things. So yeah, so I'm selling those as a single skein, unless you're particularly interested in one of them, in which case it'd be a £5 or so. Yeah, and they've been kept in this little bag that they came in since I had them, so they haven't been sort of messed with. Linen can be very naughty if it starts unravelling, but they feel quite soft. So that's my first bag I'm done with. The next yarn is by the Yarn Lab UK, and this is called Spooky Not Spooky, so appropriate for this time of year, and it's a 425 metre per 100 grams, and it's the standard 75-25 superwash merino nylon. And as you can see, it's got pumpkiny colours one end, and grey and pink, and going into greys and pinks the other end. Very, very pretty. Got a bit of turquoisey blue there as well, so that's nice. Got a lot of variation in the, as well as variegation in that. And this one is a bit strange because I bought this off Ange of Yarns and Yarns from her destash, but I've decided to pass it on because I like it, but I can't think what to do with it, and I'm trying to be strict with myself. So this is part of the Get Your Tits Out collective, which was it Countess Ablaze? It's not dyed by her. This is other Worldy yarns, and this one is an 85-15 blend of Polworth and nylon. It's quite nice and squidgy. This is superwash sock. It's 400 metres, and it's called If I Wanted Exposure I'd Get My Tits Out. Full Moon Dance. Full Moon Dance. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous, and I love it. And it's got a little bra as a stitch marker. But it's got mustard. It's got purple, pink, beigey. It's beautiful. It's really, really nice. And it's the sort of thing I would have bought years ago as well, because I was just attracted to the variegation, or the I don't know which one it is, but it was probably in indie dyed yarn. It's just gorgeous. So that's we'll call that the Full Moon Dance rather than use any naughty words, but I'm sure none of you disapprove of that sweet little garden bird that visits us occasionally. Well, I'll try not to crunch too much, but you will notice that a lot of these are very autumnal colours. These are two 50-gram balls of Askham 4-ply by Eden Cottage Yarns. They are so soft. Now I'll show you the colour. They're called Walnut, but I think it's a bit more, not as dark as what I'd consider a chocolate, but yeah, they're very nice. There's almost a hint of, not orange, but anyway, I don't know how these are going to come over, but they're nice dark brown. Eden Cottage Yarns, and they are 70% baby alpaca and 30% silk, and for 50 grams you get 200 metres. So that's 100 grams between the two. So again, so that will be £10 for the two of them. I've no idea. I mean, I know they're quite expensive now, but I've had them a couple of years. So that's Walnut by Eden Cottage Yarns. I will say with the walnut, then I wouldn't class that as superwash, as in putting in the machine. But it's going to be everybody's favourite. It's black. Nobody's going to want this, I know they're not. This is by Unbelievawool. I bought some years ago to go with, I don't know what I had in mind, but it's a standard 75-25 superwash merino nylon, and it's 425 metres per 100 grams. And I would say it was more of a charcoal, almost blue actually, but it's black, and I know that a lot of you don't like black. Although, if you're making toys or you're making an animal that requires black, then this might be just what you're looking for. I don't know, but it's all right. Probably off this jumper. So yeah, black by Unbelievawool. Quite a nice name, that, isn't it? I'm always intrigued by what people call their companies. And then you know my Blue Moment cardigan that I knitted last year from the contrast book? I have 2 skeins left over and another bit, so I've got a little bit to keep for myself in case I needed any repairs or wanted to add it to anything. And this is called Maple, and it's beautiful. It's quite tonal. It's almost coppery in some bits, red, rust. It's absolutely gorgeous, and it looks like it's metallic in some lights. Very, very pretty. And this is Cookston Crafts, Cookston Crafts, called Maple, and it's 60% superwash merino, although personally I wouldn't put it in the machine, 20% silk and 20% yak. So it is, you know, a nice yarn. And so I've got 2 of those, and again I'm letting them go for £10 each. I mean, and you've even got a bit of grey occasionally, which is like the base colour of the yarn. So I mean, that won't show up as a blob when you wind it. I've only just moved the label, saw that. I think they've all had a hint of that on when I'm somewhere. So I don't have any problem with the yarn. When I've been wearing my Blue Moment cardigan, it's gorgeous. So that's Maple by Cookston Crafts. I'm slowly sinking as I get towards the end of my indie dyed stuff. Saying there isn't that much of it, but I got rid of quite a bit of stuff a couple of years ago. I made a fair amount that I'd already wound into minis by doing, you know, for last year's charity bags of skeins that I didn't know whether I was going to use or not. And of course I've given what, 12, I've put 12 into the charity bags this year, so that's reduced the number of single skeins I've had anyway. But last year I bought a set of 6, and there are 4 here, I'm keeping 2 of them, of a Fade by Telling Yarns. Now this is it says on here hand dyed yarn, and it's British 4-ply fingering weight. One of them might say DK on it, it's wrong, and she wrote back to me and said yes, you can obviously see it's not DK, it was just had the wrong label on it. It said, and it says here, it's 50% Exmoor Blueface, 30% Blueface Leicester, and 20% Wensleydale, and it's part of the British Mill series, and it's spun by John Arbon. Right, so this one, they're Harry Potter themed, and this is Arthur, and it's per 100 grams, and all going to be the same length, weight, 388 metres for the 100 grams. And this is a lovely, it's ever so soft. Now she did the fade in a merino superwash, and this, which isn't superwash, but it's still very, very soft, and it's got a slight halo to it. It's a bit fluffy, but it's a very nice feel. I haven't knit with it, so I don't know how, if it's toothy or not, but it doesn't feel like, I'm not very sensitive, so there's no point me saying what it feels like. And also I've just put powder on my face, I'm going to be wiping my face on potential sale. But this one's called Arthur, and it's a sort of, oh, I can't think of the word, it's like an orangey brown, but not quite, it's not quite green, it almost looks green in some lights, but anyway, it's a nice soft brown, and that's the darkest. And then next is this, I think this is next, is this pink. I mean, you can put them in order that you want. Ideally, I'd like to sell them as a set of 4, but however, if people want them individually, that's fine. And these are going to be £12.50 each, because they cost me £25 each, and you know, I don't want to lose so much money on them that if I can help it. This one's called Ginny, and it's a soft pink, purpley pink. So I remind you that these are not superwash. But if you want any more details, then obviously I can let you have them. So that's Ginny. And then next is Slytherin's Air. Not hair, air. And this is a green. Got a bit of the brown at the end. And it goes very sort of green this end. So I'm not showing you, I might not be showing you them in the right order. And of course, if you looked at these in the merino, they'd look very different because merino would be more saturated than these. So yeah, very, very pleasant colours. I mean, it's not that I dislike them at all. It's just finding a use for all these yarns that I keep buying. And this one finally is called Ford Anglia Adventure. And that is like a pale aqua. It's got blue, lilac, pink in it. Very, very pretty. Now, if you say to me, if you look online and she's still doing them, you say, I want all 6, then that's fine. But ideally, I want to sell the 4 together. But I am willing to split them because obviously some of them are all pretty. I will give priority to somebody who wants all 4 as to somebody who wants them singly. But that's only, you know, that's going to happen hopefully within a few days. I'm not going to hang around with these if I can help it. So there are the 4 together. You know, I'm like at showing things off. Dreadful. So that's the Telling Yarns collection. Right, I shall be back in a minute with the start of the commercial dyed yarn. Hello, I'm back again. Now here we have, I just want to say at this point that I'm not going to be sad if none of these sell. I'm just thinking I don't have a use for them, so let's make room in my house. I'm not saying for more yarn. You know me, I want to know by year. Right, I got these from Midwinter Yarns. I don't think they're selling them anymore. They're Snaeldan Lace. Wait, they are gorgeous. Now, they need washing. I think they're a bit like Holst. They may have spinning oil on them. I should have looked that up. But they are... I've got 2 here. They are 720 metres per 100 grams. And I made my unfolding shawl. I copied exactly what Estelle and Midwinter had done. I love that knit because you start out with the maximum number, and it's a right angle triangle, a very long one, and you decrease till you get to 0. And it's a beautiful pattern, and I think it's a Sari pattern, Sari Norland pattern off the top of my head. But I did mine, I ordered 2 of the middle grey, and then these 2 as well. But I don't think I'm going to use these. I won't be sad if they're kept, but these are beautiful, absolutely beautiful, and it blooms when it's been washed as well. So they've got no names on them. That's number 2. I think Estelle put names on them herself. And then this one's number 4. And that's more of a mid grey. But it is tonal. They've both got, they're not flat colours. A bit school greyish that actually. And there's that. And they definitely go together. And they're super. So that's 2 Snaeldans. Now these weren't that expensive actually. So I think we'll say £4.50 each. I'll make a note of that because I don't want to overcharge anybody when I've I think that's half price, to be honest. Again, if you're interested in those, let me know. They are Scandinavian. Now, here we have another, it's a Cascade. Let me find the one that looks, I've got 4 50 gram skeins here, but I've started using 2 of them, so I'll keep those because I think they'll be quite nice for clothes for teddies and toys and things. So this is Cascade 220 fingering, and let me just, it's so soft it wants to undo all the time. Now I've written down that it's called Chestnut, but I can't see a chestnut on Wool Warehouse. It's made in Peru, and it is 50 grams is 250 metres. Without looking it up, and I'll put it in the notes or put it on the screen, I don't think it's superwash, but it may be. And it's beautiful. It's a proper rusty colour, airing towards brown, and I've got 2 of these, and I've decided these are I think they're £4. You know, useless I am. Cascade, oh, £2.50 each. So for a £5 plus postage, you get the 100 grams. Now I'm going to keep the ones that I started knitting. It was one of my 12 cast-ons, Angie's 12 cast-ons at the beginning of the year. I started doing a hat holding 2 strands together, and I just undid them the other day. I thought, oh, I'll use it for something else. I think it'd be quite nice as a waistcoat or a pair of trousers for one of the tea room bears, which I am going to make. So yeah, so there's the chestnut coloured Cascade 220. The 2 yarns that I made my love note out of, and if you are a smaller size than me, which is likely, you'd probably get a love note out of these. So this is Holst Garn, super soft, in the gorgeous Venetian colourway. Now, as you probably know, so this is 50 grams and you get 287 metres, and it's got the spinning oil in it, so you wash it and it blooms. Because I've mixed mine with a mohair, I haven't been able to see the full bloom, you know, because it's sort of thing, but it is nice to wear. So that's Venetian, and I have got 50 grams, and I have got 127 grams of those worth, because I've got a little bit left over from another one, which I'll include. And then this is the Cure, and it's Rowan Kidsilk Haze, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It is softer, I think it is, than the Drops Kidsilk. So this is mohair and silk, 70% mohair, 30% silk, the Cure, and for 100 grams you get 836 metres, and I have got 4 of those. Okay, in terms of how much I want for them, I think if you want to buy them off me, I think Kidsilk Haze is about £11 at the moment. I bought them a little bit less than that because it was a couple of years ago. But ideally, I'd like to say, and I say I've got 4 complete balls. I think I'd like, if you want the whole lot, I'd say £30. But if you're interested in either or, then let me know, and I'll have a look at the pricing again, because I don't want to, I'm not going to make money out of it, but at the same time I don't want another jumper in these colours, do you know what I mean? So I'd like to get rid of them, but not at I don't want to give them away, you know what I mean? You're knitters, you know what I mean, you're prepared to pay a fair price, I'm sure. So there we go, that's my bag of. Right, we've got something a bit different now, because these are already balled up, and it seems silly to me to skein them up again. I think I've got a proper sized knitting noddy. The one I use all the time for minis is smaller. I don't think these would fit on too well. So we have got here we go. This is my Croft Original. That's sherry. And I'm showing my age. Right. I went to Brighton. I wasn't impressed with the shop in terms of access. They got out a ramp that was still in its polythene, and like an idiot I didn't ask them to take the polythene off. But this is in a genuine yak bag, and in here is Croft Aran by West Yorkshire Spinners. Now I have got Moss Bank, which is a beautiful green with blue and yellowy orange speckles. You can see how lovely and speckled it is. Beautifully soft as Shetland this is. And I've got two. I'd written all these down. I don't know where it's gone. Where is it? Two. I've got two of those. And then I've got a Fetler. I think it's called Fetler, which is a green, which goes nicely with that. And I bought them so I put them together as a stripe. So I've got 200 grams of Fetler. No, I haven't. I've got 400 grams of Fetler. And then I'd realised that I might not have enough. So from Lovecrafts I bought this one, which is called Melby, which is a beautiful orangey colour, and it picks up the speckles in the moss bank. If I stop recording this, you know, and look at the video and I'm not in shot, I shall cry. And this is called Sulum. Now this, I think there must have been a break in the yarn because I've got two 50-gram balls instead of 100 grams, and they but these undyed apparently, so I've got those two. And all that I've done is I've taken them off, I've put them on my Swift, and I've hand wound them off the Swift. I don't like caked yarns, so I don't want to mess about with them. I'd like to sell them as they are. I can put them in a box, or I can put them in a double mailing bag with some puffy stuff around them. So if you're interested in some or any of these, let me know. The Croft, I can give you a price for these. They're currently £9.49, so ideally I'd like a £5 each for them. So they are Shetland. They're known to be a nice soft yarn, especially when it's been washed. So if you're interested in any of those, let me know. I'll put quantities and prices on the thing, and if you buy several of them, you'll get a free yak bag. Ta-da! Okay. I'm going to stop the video and I'm going to come back with the last few commercial yarns that I've got. Okay, I'll see you in a minute. Hello. Now we've only got three more items to cover, and the first one of which is Pure Wool Aran by Rowan, and this is called a friar, as in the robes of a monk. Oh, the most fantastic rainbow bottom of the garden. I don't know how old this is. It's a few years old. It's been in a sealed plastic bag for this size, and it's 170 metres per 100 grams, and it's superwash merino wool. And it's gorgeous, and I've got 700 there we go, that's friar, so that's 700 grams, and I think it'll, yeah, it should still come under the £3 worth of postage. So for this, I'd ideally, for 700 grams, I'd like, I don't know, £17. So say £20 for the lot to include the postage. So that's that. And then I've also got, yeah, probably a wool warehouse bag, something similar. I've got Butterscotch by Signature 4-ply, by West Yorkshire Spinners in Butterscotch. Now it might be blowing out on the screen, I'm not sure, but it's like it's a greener yellow than the lemon yellow. You know what I mean, that we saw earlier. It's greener, and I was going to make the marigold jumper in this, but I've not got round to it. Now, if you're not aware of West Yorkshire Spinners, it's super signature. I think I'm getting tired. It's 75% wool, 25% nylon, and it doesn't give any wool content. It's reared, sheared and spun in Britain. 35% blue face Leicester, my favourite wool. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of those here. I think I've got 1 more or 2 more in a different dye lot, but if you wanted more, if you wanted all 5 or 6, they tend to be quite good with dye lots because they're commercially done. And also I've got 2 cardamom, which is a lovely green colour, and I'll put a photograph of it up. Should have got Tom to get the bag out while he was in the loft today. I thought I'd got them in down, but I haven't. So these are 4 ply, and they are 400 metres per 100 grams. I'm losing the will now on time, getting tired, and I'm not saying things in the right order. Yeah, I've got some more of these, so I'll put the quantity on the screen. And I think these are, I think I said, £4 each. So yeah, and I'll put a picture of the marigold jumper in as well, because it's a very, very pretty jumper. I've just never, you know, I don't think it's the colour I would make it out of. The colour does suit me. It's a bit green, you see, so it would suit me. I say it's green, but anyway. So it's yellow, and a lot of people are scared of yellow, so if I don't sell any of the commercial stuff, then I will probably pass it on to Penny, who has got a knitting group where they knit for charity and things, unless any of my other friends that knit want them. So thank you very much for joining me today. It's been a bit of a long haul talking about them, but I wanted to give you as much information as I could on screen. But if you've got any questions, obviously you know where I am. If you haven't had a charity bag, or I don't know your address, and you're interested in something, can you contact me on, you can put a note on YouTube to secure the item, because I'll, yeah, the first come first serve, and after a couple of days I may put whatever's left onto Instagram. But if you haven't bought anything, or you haven't won anything from me before and I don't have your address, can you contact me via email or Instagram direct messages or Ravelry, so that I don't miss your address, and you don't have to put it on YouTube for public knowledge. That wouldn't be a very good idea at all. But yeah, if you can, all my contact details are below with links most of the time. So yeah, thank you very much for your patience and for bearing with me through this. I'm hoping that most of it will go. It will go one way or another. Yeah, so let's see how it pans out. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, although it's probably going to be Monday morning by the time you see this. You know what I'm like. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.